Hey, how you doing? Hans Schaff here with you, and I want to share with you a little bit about why a tiny house community. If you don't know me, you've never seen me around, you don't know anything about me, let me share with you a little bit about who I am and why I've decided to take on this monumental project of beginning tiny house communities. You see, for years I've been involved in. Well, I'm not going to go into my full story here, but essentially I've been pursuing freedom and attaining freedom, helping other people achieve freedom for years, probably over 15, 16, 17 years, since I was a teenager. It really appealed to me, and I saw real estate as one of those vehicles that could really help people attain that vision of freedom. So I became an investor at an early age. My uncle was heavily into real estate, very successful. I learned a lot from him, watched him, saw his lifestyle and what he was able to do, and I thought, for myself, how I could create a similar lifestyle through real estate, right? Through creating financial freedom and time freedom and all these things and passive income and all this. Well, that idea over the years it's been an interesting journey. It started off with an apartment complex that my wife and I purchased back in 2005 in South Lake Tahoe. It was a 12-unit apartment complex, and that was our first property. We learned real estate. I was the property manager, I was the handyman, I was the loan officer, actually did the loan for that commercial property. I was also a realtor, and I learned all the different trades pretty much of real estate. I mean, I learned how to plumb, I learned how electricity works, how gas works, carpentry skills, like I said, handyman stuff. I learned the entire business from the ground floor up. And that's how I've approached many things in my life, is from the ground up. I just basically dive right into it and start really learning everything I can about it. I just get obsessed about it, and I spend an enormous amount of time researching, learning, getting into it, and I'm constantly listening to audio books, home courses, study courses, going to seminars, going to workshops, things like that. I read a lot, and that's just my personality. That's what I do. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business owner, and I love kind of figuring out how things work and trying to take a vision and expand it and grow it. I'm a visionary. So where the story goes, so we had this apartment complex, that's where we started. And then I wanted again to kind of go bigger and go more. And I started working with my brother as well, and we started bringing investors on board to purchase into different apartment and multifamily type properties in the Texas area, Louisiana, things like that, as the markets were really picking up in 05, 06, 07. And then I started my first patio home community, which essentially are a little bit larger than tiny homes. And this is a rental community, and this was back in 2007 when we purchased this 2006 actually, when we bought this property. And what it was 16 patio homes, 48 mini storage units, and 3,000 square foot of office warehouse building. So it was a mixed-use property, and it had also the option of purchasing an additional 3 acres in order to build some additional homes as well. Now, what a patio home is, if you're not familiar with a patio home is a home where it's basically maintenance free. There's no fences. It's also sometimes called a zero lot line property, where there's no lot lines. I mean, it's essentially shared space. So you've got kind of a communal yard. So, which is great because it's actually a rental community. So the tenants, all they would have to pay for is electricity. We supplied the water, we supplied the septic tank, we supplied the trash service, we supplied the landscaping and taking care of the property, maintenance and all that. All they had to do was pay their electric bill and, satellite bill or cable bill if they wanted to, cell phone bill, internet, and the rent. And that's all they had to do. Everything else was taken care of for them. So, it was a low maintenance home, and it was very attractive. Now, these homes as well, there was one bedroom, but the rest of them were 2 bedroom, 1 bath. Concrete floors, again, concrete, stained, stamped, maintenance free, essentially. You can check out the community if you like. We've got a website. It's a rental community. You can go to RylandPatioHomes.com and kind of see a video to get a better idea, a better feeling for what it is that I'm talking about, so you have a better reference point to kind of understand what this community looks like. But essentially, so we bought it as 16 patio homes. And over 2008, 2009, we ended up adding an additional 8 homes. So there I was able to get into the development process and the construction process as well, for building out an additional 8 patio homes. And again, these are a little bit larger than a typical tiny home, which you think of as less than 400 square feet. And of course, it's on a permanent structure. They are on slabs. You know, of course, built to code. You know, with a complete you know, HVAC system, and wired for cable, internet, all those kinds of things as well. Great little units, actually. We supplied the refrigerator, the oven, dishwasher, stove, and even a washer dryer. And so the older units were about 600 square feet, 650 to 700 square feet or so. Some had fireplaces. There were a few different ones, but essentially all very similar. Very high quality, very nice looking homes. And they were all, the old ones were about maybe 15 feet apart between the houses. If you can think of an apartment complex kind of broken up into different houses with their own driveway, essentially what they were. So they're tiny patio homes, about 650 square feet. Okay. Then we built an additional 8 patio homes that were a little bit larger, about 815, 825 square feet or so. Slightly different layout. You know, we wanted a little bit bigger rooms, a little nicer, you know, fixtures to keep up with the times and all, because the homes were originally built in 2001, so these were built in 08, 09, so we updated the decor a little bit. Also still stained concrete, and they rent out very, very well. So that's kind of been my experience with tiny homes up till now. Is I've essentially ran, operated, managed, built, constructed, developed, and built these homes, you know, since 2006. You know, as well as working on different projects as well. Now, this particular project is not just with me involved. I brought in an additional 10 other people as an investment. They bought into this project. We formed an LLC, and they all own their portion of the LLC. And that's a structure that I really like, and I think could work in a tiny house community. And that's the proposed solution that we have for putting this into practice and helping all the different. Essentially, this community will be member-owned. So as you buy into this new community we're going to be creating around the country, this first one that we're working on first, it's going to be for about 25 people or so. And I'm actually going to be one of them as well. I'm going to put, you know, I believe in it so much that I'm actually going to live there myself. I'm building in the process of getting a trailer and building my own tiny house as well to put on this property. I'll be one of the 25 people buying into this project to live there as my residence on a tiny house on wheels. Because I believe in it that strongly. I'm all about freedom, and this is the pinnacle, the epitome of freedom, is this tiny house lifestyle. And in this community we're going to create, it's going to have a communal garden. It's going to have different, you know, all the infrastructure is going to be in place for either maybe septic, well water. We'll have provide solar panel facility as well, so they can we can be as off-grid as we can to really reduce costs as much as possible. It's going to again depend on the exact property that we end up narrowing down and choosing in the end, and it's going to be within. I won't get into too many particulars in this video here, but I just want to kind of give you the concept of kind of, you know, again, where I'm coming from, my experience, my exposure to this. And I mean, essentially, you could call our rental community in Alabama a tiny house community, because that's what they are. They're tiny houses. They're, you know, individual houses, but they're small 2-bedroom, 1-bath homes, and they're just above what you'd normally consider a tiny house. But really, that entire community could be considered tiny house living, and I think we could remarket it as a tiny house community and get a lot more interest in this niche, in this movement of people who are looking to rent a tiny house, even though that's exactly what it is, but we just call it a patio home because that's a newer, tiny house is kind of a newer emerging phrase or movement, right? So anyway, I just want to share a little bit about me and kind of my experience and what I've done over the years and my expertise. And this is what I do. And I'm really interested in this project. I've seen it firsthand. I have friends who live this way, and I'm in the process of interviewing different builders and different people in the movement, different people who are involved in tiny houses, who either live in it themselves or have gone through the process or have lived in a similar situation like in an RV. And I'm making the distinctions and the comparisons to really make sure that the community we provide, you know, is best suited to suit the needs of people who are seeking that freedom. First of all, to mortgage freedom, to reduce their expenses, whether it's utility, real estate, insurance, just maintenance, all the different expenses that typically are associated with a house, to really double, triple, or quadruple their disposable income essentially, and allow them to live just a much more richer, freer, more enjoyable, less strings attached type life. That's what we're trying to create. So that's my vision. That's what we're trying to create. I've got a lot of people on board, and we're bringing more people on board to work with this project, which again is called the New American Dream Project, because I really feel that the American dream became a nightmare. We were all sold on these large these houses, and the bigger the house that you have is a symbol of your success and all this. It's a bunch of BS. It's a bunch of BS. We were sold. It's a marketing ploy. And I'm really looking to help people achieve the new American dream through the New American Dream Project of helping people become free. Mortgage free is at the top of that list, which is going to really make the biggest difference for people. That's what we're trying to create. So learn more about that. You can go to our website, which is under construction, but you can see a little bit. We've got some topics on there, like the American dream is a lie, or the American dream should die. Check out that blog post. There's several others on there as well. And we'll be continuing to update this and get more information out about this as we start developing and as it comes more to fruition. But this is our vision. This is what we're starting with, and I just want to share this quick message with you to kind of give you a little bit more background and paint the picture for you, so you can kind of buy into our vision, and hopefully you it goes in line with why you are also attracted to tiny homes, and you can help share this message with people. We really want to get this message out there. We're creating a nonprofit organization to really help spearhead this project. Starting with this one particular community we're creating to begin with, we're going to use that as the model to help us get into other communities as well across the country, so we can take this model and spread it and make tiny house communities something that's a lot more commonplace, so that people have places to take their tiny houses and make it more accessible to more people to really live and become free. Hope this message helps. Again, please share this message around and let people know about what we're trying to do. We encourage you to contact us. Let us know how you can help. There's lots of things that you can do to help us get the word out there and find people to really get this first community going. We'd love your help. This is something we can all do together, and looking forward to it. So we'll see you in the next video and the next update. I just want to share this quick message with you about the New American Dream Project. We're excited. See you and talk to you soon.